Hi everybody, the Broke Hippie Grandma here. Last video I told you that I had always wanted to live off grid, and that is just something I've always wanted to do since I was uh, a tween, really, and learned that it was a thing. I've always wanted to do it. So unfortunately, it just never worked out for me. And so now here I am. I'm retired. I just got me to worry about. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of a backstory and tell you why I'm here now. And that is, it started in January of 2020. Of course, that's the most dreaded year. We all know why. But in January of 2020, my mom got very sick. We knew she had, was starting to get dementia, but that's when it got really bad. And she got very sick because she wasn't taking her meds and everything. So, anyway, it ended up that the doctor said somebody needed to live with her. So I gave up my apartment and all that, and I moved in to take care of her, which I did until she passed in March of 2022. Okay, so it was very, very, very traumatic for me, and it was just a really difficult time. And I was struggling with my grief and depression, and I made a move just to, be able to get out of that space and start healing. Well, I moved into a cute little apartment and everything was fine for the first few months, and then I got sick. I was eventually diagnosed with polymyalgia rheumatica, which is a very, very painful and debilitating autoimmune disorder. So I got very, very sick and really could barely even take care of myself. I had trouble even getting out of bed. So my three daughters, God bless them, stepped in and took care of me while I was, they were figuring out what was wrong. Got me all better. Fast forward to spring of this year, 2025, and I was doing good. I felt good. I was off the medication. I felt like I was getting stronger, and I said, okay, it's time to make this happen. So I don't know, I have had quite a few small flare-ups since moving back in April or May, basically the 1st of May. And I'm just trying to get as much set up as possible, as quickly as possible, to be able to make everything manageable and easy and self-sustaining and self-sufficient. As I'm getting older, and I don't know if I'm going to have a big 2-year episode of this autoimmune disorder again or what. And of course I am aging, and I'm 68 now. I'll be 69 in a few months. And so I just want to be prepared. I want to, if I am, struggling and needing help, I want it to be easy for other people to help me as well. So I just decided that now's the time. So, but in the meantime, while I was in the apartment and in a great deal of pain and not being able to do very much of anything for myself, we had a big storm over there at my mom's, and it took out the power pole with live wire on it, and it crashed down on the gas meter. So I called and called, finally got them to turn that off because I was afraid somebody's going to get electrocuted. And so anyway, they finally turned it off, And I had also the gas company come and turn the gas off at the same time so that nobody's going to get hurt. I can't get over there and take care of anything, and I don't want anybody getting hurt over there. So once I was ready to move back in and get everything turned back on again, get everything, all the repairs made and get things turned on, I discovered that both companies had continued to bill me as if I were still receiving power, receiving service, and the bills were going up and up and up. I believe it was something like $700 the gas company thought I should pay for no gas for that year. And it was up to $1,500 on the power bill. Now, mind you, none of this was working. It had all been turned off. And in fact, there had been another storm that had come in and then toppled a tree over on top of the pole with all the electric company's equipment on it and just trashed it. So there was no way there was power or gas there. So I ended up calling the ICC, the Illinois Commerce Commission, and filed a report because I had talked to them and talked to them and talked to them, and they just kept saying they were going to fix it and never did. They just kept on sending me more and more bills. And the funny thing about it was it said that it was actual reading of my meter, and it wasn't, because the meter didn't even work. So anyway, the Illinois Commerce Commission, they got on them and said they had to cancel it. Well, after that, they sent a $4,000 bill to my deceased mother, who had been gone since 2022. And so I told everybody to get their equipment off my property, and it worked out fine because I was going to go off grid anyway, but I wasn't intending to take the power off of the property. I wanted to leave it there for anybody who wanted it after me, but they made up my mind on that. So anyway, that is how we came to here. So anyway, I just live in a little bitty one-horse town. It's less than 300 residents. And so I went and got myself a couple of solar generators and some solar panels, and that is what I'm using for power. And I got a wood stove. I'm getting ready to have that installed. And and I intend to next year start with planting fruit trees and berries and vegetables and a medicinal herb garden and all of that. And I'm going to have a greenhouse with raised bed planters in that as well. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of the backstory, and next time we'll jump into the solar that I have and what I have experienced, and what I can tell you not to do in my experience, and what I found most helpful. So that's what we'll talk about next time, and that's all for today. I'll see you next time on the Broke Hippie Grandma. Bye.